Join me as I uncover the secret yet simple counter surveillance tricks that can help protect your privacy in 2025. In today's world, it's more important than ever to take control of our personal privacy. It would seem that we are being surveilled almost all of the time. Our phones are surveilling us. Our laptops, computers, and tablets are surveilling us. And who knows who else is watching us. But what can we do about it? Counter surveillance is a crucial aspect to protecting our privacy, and it's not just about being paranoid, it's about being proactive. By understanding how to protect ourselves from unwanted surveillance, we can regain control over our lives, our data, and our personal information. Surveillance technology is everywhere, and it's becoming more sophisticated by the day, to be sure. From social media tracking to facial recognition software, it's easier than ever for governments, corporations, and even individuals to keep tabs on us. And let's be real, it's not just about the government spying on us. It's about cybersecurity, identity theft, PIs surveilling us, and even stalkers. The truth is, our personal information is under attack from all sides, and it's up to us to fight back. We're living in an age where every move we make, every click we make, and every conversation we have is being monitored, tracked, and analyzed, and it's not just online. Surveillance cameras are sprouting up on every street corner, and our devices are constantly pinging our locations to who knows who. And then there is physical surveillance. The guy down the street watching you, following you, videotaping you. Who is he? Is he a PI? What can you do about it? One of the most jarring things about surveillance technology is how it can make us feel like we're living in a constant state of scrutiny. This video is sponsored by OREP Insurance and Working PI Magazine. OREP is a leading provider of private investigator liability insurance. Visit orep.org for a quote today. It's exhausting, it's stressful, and it's downright creepy. And the worst part is we often feel powerless to stop it. But we're not powerless. We just need to take back control one simple step at a time. Let's talk about some practical counter surveillance techniques that you can start using today. One of the easiest is to turn off location services on your phone. Yes, I know it's so convenient to have the location turned on so your phone knows exactly where you are at all times. Yes, I know it is so convenient to have the location turned on your phone so your phone knows exactly where you are at all times. But that is the problem with that feature of your phone. It knows exactly where you are at all times, and that, folks, is a major privacy risk. By turning off location services, you're taking away the one biggest way for surveillance technology to track your every move. Another simple trick is to use a VPN or virtual private network on all of your devices. A VPN is like a cloak of invisibility for your online activity. The way it works is simple. It encrypts your data and hides your IP address, making it much harder for anyone to snoop and see what you're doing online. And let's not forget the humble and simple webcam cover. You can use a simple piece of tape or a sticky note over your webcam to keep prying eyes from watching you, watching what you're doing, and seeing your every move all the time. But one of the most effective counter surveillance techniques is something called surveillance detection. This means being aware of your surroundings, paying attention to unusual activity, and noticing when something doesn't feel right. Remember, it's not about being paranoid, it's about being proactive and taking control of your own privacy. I want to share a story with you about a client that we had who was being stalked online. She was getting creepy messages and strange comments on her social media, and she didn't know what to do about it. But she didn't just sit back and let it take control of her life. She took action. After talking to us, she started doing things to protect herself, like using a VPN, installing virus and anti-malware software, and she turned off location services and only turned it on when she absolutely needed it. When she first installed the virus and anti-malware software, it found all kinds of bad things on her devices. I'm talking about things like keyloggers, tracking cookies, and yes, even nefarious software that had access to her webcams, and she never knew these things were there. After all of this, after just taking a few minor steps to protect herself and her data, you know what happened? The online stalking stopped. It just stopped immediately. Poof, it was gone. This is a powerful reminder that we don't have to be victims. We can take control of our own privacy and security. But what about physical surveillance? What about the guy down the street sitting in his car, videotaping you and following you every time you go somewhere? What can you do about that? Well, first, you need to take some steps to see if he is indeed surveilling you. He could be watching a neighbor or another house or doing something completely legitimate, so you don't want to jump to any conclusions. Make notes of when you see him, what days and what times and what vehicle. Make specific notes about his vehicle, the make, model, color, and license plate. And if you see the same guy, the exact same vehicle, multiple times, like 3 or 4 days, then you can take some counter surveillance steps to see if you are the target. Leave your house and go for a drive. Drive right past him and see how he reacts. Then go for a little drive through your neighborhood and see if he follows. If you think he is following, then you need to make absolutely sure it is the same vehicle and the same person. Go somewhere where you can turn around safely and go back past him so you can double check the license plate. You might also go to a safe place like a park, a library, or a shopping center. Then get out of your car, go for a short walk, then return back to your car and see how he reacts. Did he get out of his vehicle after you got out of your vehicle? Did he enter the store or start walking behind you? Did he immediately return to his vehicle quickly when you headed back to your vehicle? These are all telltale signs it could be a PI or someone else surveilling you. So what do you do now? Well, first off, don't panic. Don't make a scene and don't confront the individual. I will often tell clients who think they are being surveilled like this to take further counter surveillance steps, to double, triple, and quadruple check. Head back home, but take a very circuitous route through the neighborhoods. At times go around the block and do this a time or two to see if they are still following you. When you get home, if you see the same car, take a few photos of it. Now, don't be overly aggressive in doing this. Just take out your phone, snap a few photos, maybe wave to him, and then go inside. Now, he has the right to park on a public street. As well, he has the right to videotape or photograph anything in public view, but he doesn't have the right to harass, intimidate, or stalk you. If you feel any of these things are occurring, then I recommend contacting the police. But don't just call and demand they come over and do something about that creepy guy in the car. Let them know what you have done and that you think he may be watching you, and let them know your fears. If you think he is stalking you, then tell the police that and let them know why he might be stalking you. If you think it is a PI, let them know why you think that and let them know that you feel that he has been a bit aggressive in his surveillance and you are in fear of what he might do. The police in most jurisdictions will have to respond to any call like this. If a citizen is in fear for their life, they need to take action. Now, that action may not necessarily mean that the SWAT team comes rolling in, but they will come out and have to talk with the guy. And if it is a PI, well, he may have called himself into the police. And if so, then they will make contact with him and let him know there was a call about a suspicious vehicle. And they will usually still do a drive-by to make sure everything is okay. And if they believe you're in fear, they will stop and talk to him, check his credentials, and at the very least warn him about his actions. Regardless of how they handle it, once he knows that you know he is there, then the chances are he will pull off. You see, a PI doesn't usually want confrontation. A PI usually doesn't want to get burned, and a PI really doesn't want to get accused or arrested for stalking or harassing someone. These fears alone will usually make a PI close the case and tell the client they can't work it anymore. Now, the next thing you need to do is watch this video.